Hi everyone! Hope you're all having an amazing day. Welcome back to another page in my travel diary. In this video, come along with me as we find out if Niseko is still worth visiting at the end of winter and why it turned out to be one of the highlights of our Japan trip. This is our 3 days in Niseko, part of our 21-day Japan trip this year. In this trip, we tried something completely new. We took our first ski lesson. And yes, we actually learned how to ski. Kind of. From falling over to finally gliding slowly through the snow, this experience was both challenging and so much fun at the same time. In this video, I'll show you what it's really like, from skiing, exploring the snow, to what you can actually expect if you visit during this time, including how to get here if you're planning your own trip. But the real question is Niseko still worth visiting at the end of winter? We visited in late March, right at the tail end of winter. So if you've ever wondered whether it's still worth coming here this late in the season, keep watching because we're about to find out. Let's get started! Niseko is located in Hokkaido and is known as one of Japan's most popular ski destinations, famous for its powder snow, beautiful mountain scenery, and cozy winter atmosphere. It's made up of 4 main areas: Grand Hirafu, Hanazono, Niseko Village, and Anupuri. And for this trip, we stayed in Grand Hirafu, which is probably the most popular area in Niseko. How to actually get to Niseko? There are actually a few different ways to get to Niseko from Tokyo, depending on your budget, schedule, and travel style. The quickest and easiest option, and the one I'd personally recommend, is flying. Since Niseko doesn't have its own airport, most people usually travel by air to New Chitose Airport in Sapporo, which takes around 1 hour and 30 minutes. Or, you can also book a direct international flight to Sapporo if you're traveling from overseas. From there, it's another 2 to 3 hours going to Niseko by bus, train, or rental car. Another option is taking the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Hokkaido, then transferring to local trains towards Niseko. This journey usually takes around 8 to 10 hours in total, depending on your transfers and schedule. There's also the ferry option for people who enjoy slow travel adventures, but it can take around 18 to 24 hours or even longer depending on the route. Since this was part of our 3-week Japan trip, we decided to fly from Tokyo to New Chitose Airport because it was the easiest, quickest, and least stressful option. It saved us a lot of time and energy. To get there from New Chitose Airport, we took the Whiteliner bus, which we reserved online ahead of time. I'll leave the booking link in the description below. I'd really recommend booking in advance, especially during winter season, since buses can get fully booked pretty quickly. The ride took around 2.5 to 3 hours depending on the weather and road condition, but the snowy views along the way honestly made the journey feel like part of the experience already. We arrived in Niseko at almost 6 p.m. We stayed at Always Niseko Hotel. The room itself felt really cozy and surprisingly spacious as well. The bed was huge. It was a king-size bed and we still had plenty of extra space to move around comfortably and open all our luggage. If you've traveled to Japan before, then you probably know that hotel rooms there are usually more on the smaller and compact side. So having this much space was actually such a nice surprise for us. The whole room had a really clean, cozy, and relaxing vibe. And considering the location in Niseko, we found it pretty affordable too. Niseko at night felt slower, quieter, and more laid back compared to the busy city atmosphere in Japan. Since we visited during late March, it wasn't as crowded as peak winter season. It felt more laid back, and we got to enjoy the scenery without too many people around. There were also a few food trucks around the village, which made the place feel more lively at night. One of the main reasons we wanted to visit Niseko was to experience skiing. So before the trip, we booked a private one-on-one ski lesson with Go Snow Niseko. They also offer English-speaking instructors, which made the whole experience a lot easier for beginners like us. For our ski gear rentals, we rented everything through Rhythm Japan for 2 days. They're actually one of the most popular ski and snowboard rental shops in Niseko, with 2 locations around Grand Hirafu. We booked our rentals online through their website before arriving. When we got to the store, they first scanned and measured our feet to make sure the ski boots fit properly. After that, the staff prepared all the gear we rented. We booked a 2-hour private lesson with an English-speaking instructor, but they also offer 4-hour sessions for longer lessons, depending on what you book online. At first, our instructor taught us all the basics: how to properly stand on the skis, balance, stop safely, and slowly glide on the snow without panicking. And as first-timers, it was way harder than it looked. You think skiing is just stand and slide, but once you're actually on the snow, your legs suddenly forget how to cooperate. One thing I learned about skiing for the first time is that you really need to expect a lot of trial and error. Your body needs time to adjust to balancing, turning, and controlling your speed on snow. The next day, we decided to go on our own and just keep practicing everything we learned during the lesson. And yes, I fell twice. Honestly though, falling is part of the experience, and somehow, it just makes the trip even more memorable and funny afterwards. After practicing for a while, we decided to ride the Ace Gondola to see the views from up above. The ride itself was already worth it. Seeing Niseko covered in snow from the top was so pretty. We are now at the top after riding the gondola. Even though winter season was already over when we visited around late March, as you can see, there was still so much snow everywhere. It still felt like winter and people were still skiing and snowboarding like normal. At first, we were actually hesitant to come around this time because we thought most of the snow would already be melted. But surprisingly, there was still really nice powder snow in some areas. Coming around March or even early April was still really worth it because you get to avoid the huge crowds while still enjoying the snow and ski experience. Although of course, it still depends on the weather. since it can be pretty unpredictable towards the end of the season. So it's always best to check the weather or snow updates first before planning your trip. This was one of those simple moments that ended up becoming one of our favorites. Just playing around in the snow, laughing, falling over, and enjoying the moment like little kids again. Yay! There were also a lot of food trucks around Grand Hirafu. So after a whole day of skiing, we went straight there to grab something to eat and drink. We decided to try this one called washa. They serve wagyu skewers and a few other meat dishes, plus they also have a drink menu. We ordered the pork skewer and the wagyu beef skewer. Since it was really cold, we decided to try the hot sake as well, which felt perfect for the weather.
This is the hot sake.
Getting around Grand Hirafu was actually convenient too, because most hotels here offer free shuttle services with different drop-off points around the village. There were also supermarkets and convenience stores nearby, where you could pretty much buy everything you need: snacks and hot meals, drinks, and other essentials. We always use Google Translate the whole time to translate all the Japanese labels and signs. Grand Hirafu may be a small town, but what's nice about visiting during late March or early April is that while some parts of Japan were already starting to warm up and the snow had melted, you could still experience the snow and even go skiing here. When we arrived in Niseko, it was still snowing, and we were honestly a little worried before the trip because we thought most of the snow might already be melted since it was late March. But surprisingly, there was still so much snow everywhere, and it still really felt like winter. On some nights during our stay, there were even light flurries too, so you'd randomly see snow slowly falling outside. And if you're planning to stay at Always Niseko Hotel, it made everything a lot more convenient because they have a ski rental return area downstairs beside the lobby. So after skiing, we could just return all the ski gear there instead of bringing everything back to the shop. The whole process is really easy and hassle-free. I think one of the best things about visiting Niseko during late March is that it feels a lot more relaxed compared to peak winter season. It wasn't overly crowded, so we got to enjoy the scenery and the whole mountain town vibe at a slower pace. I'd honestly say Niseko is still worth visiting even after peak winter season, especially around late March or early April, because there's still snow around and you can still go skiing during that time. As long as it's not too late into April, most ski resorts are usually still open before the season officially ends, and you could still ski during late season. You can still enjoy without the peak season crowds. Just make sure to check the resort closing dates, since most ski resorts usually close around the end of April. So if you're planning to visit Niseko around late March or early April, I'd still say it's definitely worth it. Of course, weather conditions can still vary every year, so it's always best to check snow updates before your trip. Overall, we really enjoyed our stay here. From learning how to ski for the first time, exploring the snowy streets, trying different food spots, and experiencing the quiet late winter atmosphere, this is definitely a trip we'll always remember. Thank you so much for coming along with us on our Niseko trip and for spending a little part of your day watching this travel diary. Hopefully, this video gave you a glimpse of what late season in Niseko feels like. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone you'd love to travel with someday. And until the next adventure, see you in the next one! Bye!